Yo, what's good, family? Welcome back to the Urban Concrete, the only spot on the digital block where we break down the culture, the news, and the absolute chaos of these internet streets with 100% facts and zero filter. I'm your host, and today we got to talk about a clash of the titans or maybe a clash of the clout chasers. We're diving deep into the beef between the man with the mic, Andrew Callaghan from Channel 5, and the new kid on the block, Nick Shirley. This ain't just a regular interview gone wrong, fam. This is a case study in credibility, editing magic, and what happens when the receipts actually get pulled. We're talking about a situation where one man looked like a total bird, only to flip the script and show the world that the journalist might be just as messy as the subject. Let's get into concrete facts. So, boom. Andrew Callaghan drops this interview with Nick Shirley, specifically about Shirley's Minnesota exposed piece where he is out here accusing the Somali community of massive fraud. Now, when the Channel 5 version hit the timeline, it was a wrap for Nick. The edit made Shirley look like he was borderline illiterate and straight up delusional. The clip that went viral, the one that had everybody in the comments calling him a moron, was about Charlie Kirk. Shirley was out here losing respect for Andrew because he thought Andrew didn't denounce the killing of Charlie Kirk. But here's the kicker. Andrew did denounce it. And Shirley admitted he didn't even watch the video because he already made up his mind. Now, let's analyze the psychology here. Shirley is operating from what we call confirmation bias. In these street politics, if you already decide someone is your op, you stop looking for the truth and start looking for reasons to hate. That's a weak argument, fam. If you're going to step to a heavy hitter like Callaghan, you got to have your homework done. Because Shirley didn't, he looked like a kid whose IQ was lower than 68, according to the brutal comment section. Now, we got to talk about the actual meat of the story, the fraud in Minnesota. Nick Shirley's whole vibe is that the Somali community is out here pirating the government's money. He says 89% of the fraud in the state is coming from that community. Now, his premise might have some legs in terms of actual fraud happening, but his execution was sloppy, and on the Urban Concrete, we don't respect sloppy work. Shirley went to these daycare centers like a BC Learning Center and Quality Learning Center, claiming they were ghost towns with no kids, but the facts hit back hard. Shirley showed up at 11 a.m. when the spot didn't even open until 2 p.m. He's out here with a camera and security guards with face gaiters acting like he's in a war zone, and then wonders why people won't let him in. Here's the argument. Suspicion does not equate to fraud. You can't just plaster a small business S-face and address to millions of people and call them criminals because their windows are blacked out. Maybe they don't want strange men looking at the kids. You feel me? When you move like that, you destroy lives and brands for clicks, and that's where Shirley fumbled the bag. Even the State Department went in after him and found most of these spots were operating normally. But hold on, family. Don't go thinking Andrew Callaghan is the hero of this story just yet. This is where it gets shady. After looking like a fool, Nick Shirley decided to drop his own receipts. Shirley revealed that they actually spoke for 2.5 hours, but Andrew only posted less than half of it. And what did he leave out? The parts where Andrew Callaghan actually agreed with him. In the raw footage, when they talk about Democrat-run cities like Denver not prospering, Andrew actually says, I agree that Democrat-run states are doing badly. But on the official Channel 5 video, he smirks and acts like Shirley's crazy. This is the linguistic root of performative journalism. Andrew's audience is largely left-leaning, and he knows where his bread is buttered. If he shows himself agreeing with a MAGA talking point, he loses his Patreon supporters and his cool factor. So he edits the truth to keep the brand alive. That's not journalism. That's pandering. Let's break down the argument about the non-profit industrial complex. Shirley pointed out that one of the daycare managers was seen partying with the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey. The argument is that there's a system where people leech off the government and get protected by the politicians they help elect. Even Andrew, in the unedited clips, seemed to find the 89% fraud statistic interesting, saying, looks like there's a problem. But he took that out. Why? Because admitting that there's a specific cultural or community-based issue with fraud is politically incorrect. The real tea here is that both sides are being disingenuous. Shirley is being sloppy and potentially harmful by targeting innocent businesses, which allegedly led to over-policing and a tragedy where someone named Renee was killed. But Andrew Callaghan is being a fake-out journalist by hiding his actual opinions to stay in the good graces of his fan base. At the end of the day, the urban concrete stands for the truth, no matter who it upsets. Nick Shirley might be deplorable or dishonest to some, but as the reporter Flacco said, you gotta respect a terrible person who stays the same more than a journalist who changes his face for the camera. If you believe something is a fact like the fraud stats, say it with your chest. Don't pander to the left or the right. If you're a journalist, your job is to give the facts, not the version of the facts that keeps your Patreon jumping. This situation is a mess. Man, you got sloppy research meeting, shady editing. It's a race to the bottom of the internet. But what do you think? Is Andrew Callaghan losing his credibility by ducking his own opinions? Or is Nick Shirley just too uneducated to be taken seriously? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the Urban Concrete. We keep it real, we keep it factual, and we always keep it 100. I'm out of here. Stay solid.